If you're trying to save money at the grocery store, and let's be honest, who isn't these days? Your garden is actually one of the best tools you have. Today I'm sharing 9 crops that's going to save you some serious money on your grocery bill. Some of these keep producing all season. Others replace expensive store-bought produce, and a few can even grow from what you already have at home. So let's dive into it. And the first one we want to talk about is potatoes. Now, I've talked about this in other videos, but potatoes might seem cheap at the store, but when you go to buy a seed potato, that thing is actually really expensive. But if you grow your own, especially from the potatoes that you buy at the grocery store, you can not only reduce your grocery bill, but you're going to provide something that's very nutrient dense and healthy for your family, that's packed full of calories. I never buy seed potatoes. Instead, I buy an organic potato from the grocery store, I cut that in half, and I bury it deep in the soil. After a few months, I'm harvesting my very own potatoes from potatoes I bought at the grocery store. Keep in mind that conventional potatoes are sprayed with a sprout inhibitor, so you have to use an organic potato if you want to be able to grow potatoes in your very own backyard. And believe it or not, one small grocery store potato can produce an abundant harvest. You can grow them in raised beds, you can grow them in containers, you can grow them in 5-gallon buckets, or you can even grow them a lot of times in your native soil. Potatoes aren't super fussy. They don't need really great soil to be able to grow well. You are going to give them a little bit of fertilizer and keep them consistently moist, but that's really it. They don't need a lot of fuss. And the best part is harvesting them, because when you go to dig them up, it's going to feel like you're searching for treasure. Next up is going to be your onions, and even your green onion varieties. These are staples in almost every kitchen. And truth be told, when you're buying them at the grocery store, the cost can really add up, especially when it comes to green onions. They're really easy to grow, but if you buy them at the grocery store, you're probably grabbing a bundle quite often, and that cost can add up over time. And they may even go bad before you're able to use them all. But you can grow your own green onions from sets or seeds, or you can even regrow green onions from the ones you buy at the grocery store, just from the white ends. If you use the green part of the green onion and you save the white end, you can bury those in the soil and they're gonna regrow. And while your regular big bulbing onions are wonderful, you can grow those in your garden as well. They do take a little bit more work than your green onions. But your green onions, you really can place them almost anywhere in your garden. And if you keep harvesting them, if you just keep harvesting the green tops, they will continue to grow for quite some time. You will get several harvests off of one green onion plant. Next up, let's talk about your herbs, especially perennial herbs. Your annual herbs can be a money saver as well, but those perennial herbs are where you're really going to see the most bang for your buck. Fresh herbs are some of the most overpaid things in the grocery store. A tiny plastic clamshell of basil or thyme is easily going to be $3 or $4 in your grocery store, depending on where you're at. And it often goes bad before you have time to use it all. But when you grow your own, especially, like I said, your perennial herbs like oregano or thyme or rosemary, they come back year after year and they keep producing basically for free. Annuals like your basil and your cilantro, those are going to be great too, because you can continuously harvest them, and although they're not perennial, you can get multiple harvests off of one single plant. The important thing to keep in mind with those is that you have to continuously pick them, because basil, if you allow it to go to flower, the taste of the basil will actually change. And with cilantro does not like the warm weather, so it's going to continuously try to bolt on you once the weather gets warm. But if you keep harvesting it, you can keep these plants producing for quite some time. And you're going to get a lot of cilantro and basil just from one little plant. All you have to do is dry these herbs and you're going to be able to save them for later use. And I promise, once you start growing herbs in your garden, you will never go back to buying them from the grocery store. Next up, let's talk about your lettuce, specifically grown as baby greens. If you go to the grocery store and you buy a package of spring mix, you're gonna see that thing is ridiculously expensive. And most of the time it's gonna wilt before you have the chance to use it all. And you don't need full heads of lettuce. What you're gonna do is sow whatever variety of lettuce you like, sow it very densely, and harvest them when they're young. Just keep cutting them off, leaving some of the plant still intact, but cut off some of the outer leaves. And this is known as the cut and come again method. If you do it this way, you're going to get multiple harvests off of one single planting. This is going to go a long way to slashing your grocery bill. And not to mention, you're gonna be able to grow a lot more varieties in your garden than you can find in the grocery store. This next one is one of my favorites, and it's cherry tomatoes. So if you go to the grocery store and you buy cherry tomatoes, again, these things are ridiculously expensive. However, in your backyard garden, they're pretty easy to grow and they're really prolific. And cherry tomatoes from the grocery store don't taste very good, but I promise you, the flavor from a tomato grown in your backyard garden that's allowed to vine ripen is gonna be so much more intense and more flavorful than anything you could buy. One healthy plant can give you hundreds of tomatoes, and I'm not exaggerating when I say that. And you can grow them in a pot, you can grow them in a grow bag or other container, you can grow them in a raised bed, you can really grow them in any location that gets enough sun and the soil is well draining and has some organic matter. Number 6 on our list is gonna be sweet potatoes. Now, sweet potatoes are a money saver and a fun experiment in the garden. You don't need to buy slips. All you gotta do is start with 1 or 2 organic sweet potatoes that you bought from your grocery store. You place them halfway buried in some soil and you watch them sprout. When those sprouts are about 4 to 6 inches long, they're what we call slips. You can take those slips, each one, place it in a cup of water, small glass of water, allow roots to begin to form over the next week or so. And once you have a good amount of roots, you just bury those things in the soil. You just plant them like you would sweet potato slips because that's what they are. From each one of those sweet potato slips, you can get a bumper crop, an abundant harvest. In some places, sweet potatoes are actually considered invasive because they grow so well. These plants love heat, and they're not very fussy. They're not gonna need a lot of input from you to grow very well. And again, you're gonna get a bumper crop of sweet potatoes just from 1 or 2 organic sweet potatoes. And the best part is you can cure them and store them for quite some time at the end of the season. These things will last for quite a while, so you're not gonna have to rush to eat them all. Next on our list are your summer squash varieties. If you've ever grown zucchini, you know it doesn't just produce, it explodes. Just a few plants can give you more squash than you know what to do with. Whether it's yellow squash, your patty pan varieties, or your zucchini. They're incredibly prolific and much cheaper to grow than they are to buy in the grocery store. Just watch out for squash bugs, give them some room to grow, and you're gonna have a prolific, abundant harvest of your summer squash. Next on our list is gonna be peppers. And peppers are another one of those crops that are gonna be a lot cheaper to produce in your garden than they are to buy at the grocery store. And when you grow your own, you get access to tons of varieties that your grocery store just doesn't carry. You have hot peppers, mild peppers, sweet peppers, you have purple peppers. There are so many different varieties that you can choose from. Peppers take a little while to start, but once you get them going, they can produce well into the fall, and one plant can give you multiple pepper harvests. And here's the fun part. Peppers are actually perennials in warm climates. So if you live somewhere like I do, I can keep peppers growing for multiple years, for multiple seasons, and they will actually get more productive as they age. If you live somewhere that's a little bit cooler, you can still overwinter your peppers by potting them up and bringing them indoors. Number 9 on our list, last but not least, is kale. And what we're going to talk about here is actually true of spinach as well, but kale is usually a little bit easier to grow than spinach. If you like green smoothies, you probably know that a lot of times either spinach or kale are used in the production of those green smoothies, and they can be really expensive. You buy a bunch of kale in the store and you go to saute it, that's also going to be really expensive. And just like lettuce, kale can wilt before you even have the chance to use it. So growing your own can really save you a fortune on your grocery bill. These greens are going to be cold hardy, they grow really quickly, and they will keep producing if you continuously harvest the outer leaves. This is again called that cut and come again method, and by harvesting those outer leaves, you can get multiple harvests from your kale or your spinach plants. You can start them early in the spring, and you can even grow them in the fall. So in most places, you can actually grow kale or spinach twice a year. Or if you live in a warm climate like I do, you can actually grow them over the winter with a little bit of protection. If you grow kale or even spinach in your garden just one time, you're never gonna go back to paying $5 for a bag of baby greens ever again. So there you have it, 9 high value crops to grow in your garden to save money on your grocery bill. You don't have to grow everything, but if you grow a few of these, it's really gonna make an impact on your grocery bill and your grocery budget every month. Let me know in the comments which ones you're gonna be growing this year or which ones surprised you the most. I thank you guys so much for watching. I'm gonna leave a video on your screen until the next one comes out. May your garden be full of grace and may you be abundantly blessed. We'll see you next time. Bye.